Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is able to hear me and everyone is able to see my screen. If possible, can someone please confirm you're able to hear me clearly on the chat window? Are you able to hear me clearly and able to see my screen, guys? Can someone confirm on the chat window if possible? Okay, right. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, guys. So I've muted everyone, guys. So if at all on demand, I can unmute them, because in the last class we have seen a bit of disturbance which is caused. Yeah, thank you. Now guys, so far what I discussed, before I go further, totally 2 demos I have taken, and these are my YouTube links which I already posted in the Hangouts group also, day 1 and day 2. And whoever is joined for today's class, this is the link which I am sharing to everyone. Please join this particular link in Hangouts app. Okay, please install Hangouts app and just click on this link. You will be added to the group, and where I'm going to publish the running notes and also YouTube links in that particular Hangouts group. Okay, so what I covered so far is nothing but, in the demo 1 I covered course content, introduction to Spring Boot. In demo 2 I covered Spring versus Spring Boot. Today I am going to cover what is microservice and why the microservices are very popular. Okay, so just to repeat completely what exactly we discussed so far, just to repeat that. Okay, so we went with the introduction to Spring Boot, where we went with before Spring also. We go forward and I explained with the EJB as well as RMI. From there I went, actually EJB as well as RMI, we went there and we observed that there is a poor garbage collection, which nothing but, where whenever we instantiate any class, by default the objects will be created by the developer. And developers sometimes they may write a code of not clearing those references, which making sure that all the objects which are piling up, so that it is going to impact the performance of the application. And hence that problem was resolved by the Spring with the introduction of IOC container with dependency injection, which is called as inversion of control. What is inversion of control, guys? Inversion of control is nothing but, rather than a developer is controlling the case or developer is controlling the life cycle of an object, framework is controlling that. Employee emp is equal to new employee. Rather than that, if you write IOC dot get employee, so that you no need to write a defensive code to clear that reference. Also the other things is, it's a tightly coupled system. If I want to interact with any other Java frameworks, then generally we need to write, it's a difficult code where we need to integrate. It's not loosely coupled to architecture. Also, if I want to achieve any transaction management code, generally, like, there is no framework support is there. Unlike we have in a Spring, we have AOP, something like that support is not at all there in case of Spring, in EJB and RMI. And also very difficult programming, that is what we discuss here. Then we went to Spring versus Spring Boot. That also we discussed about. We have taken a scenario, guys. The scenario is we need to develop a web application which should read the data from a database and printing the data on the screen. And any technology I can choose, any database I can choose. But the only limitation is that we need to complete this particular task within 15 minutes only. That is a limitation only we have. So we know that it is not possible without Spring Boot. But I want to see mainly what are the main challenges, what exactly the challenges are happened here. Okay, so where we are developing a web application and what are the challenges is, first of all, we need to install database, MySQL and runtime and downloading the jars and JDBC jars and ant scripts. All those things we need to take care. That itself will take 24 minutes. As well as we need to write some configuration like web.xml configuration, dispatcher servlet configuration, database configuration, Spring configuration. Everything we have taken, it will take 20 minutes. Then development like writing table creation, JSP, controller, service, dev layer. It will take 10 minutes. And finally, we need to create a var file and deploy the var file. And we need to write any other class path problems are there. We need to make sure that also will be deployment problems 10 minutes. Overall, it is going to take more than 1 hour of time if at all if we use Spring architecture. But Spring Boot is introduced where we no need to install anything, we no need to configure anything, we no need to do any deployment task, only development task only we should take care. Remaining things will be taken care by the framework only. That is how Spring Boot is completely a modernized framework, completely automated the process, where you no need to have worry about any manual steps. We can develop the products on the fly. So that is what I have explained in my last 2 demo classes. This is the overall picture I have given, guys. And if any questions are there, guys, please raise a hand. I'm going to answer the questions for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to explain the next topic, which is microservices. That is my last demo. Okay. Anyone has any questions till now? Whatever the topics which I discussed in my 2 demo classes. And also I've shared the course content in the group. In the Hangouts group, I've shared the course content. Okay. So Sudarshan, go ahead. I unmuted you. Sudarshan, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, this batch for NASCOM student or other students, sir?
Yeah, I think we'll get back to you on this. I think we'll give it admin because it's a non-technical. I don't know answer actually, but
Okay,
definitely.
Okay, sir.
Please reach out to admin. He'll give details. Okay.
Okay, sir. What is the difference between to NASCOM people and other people, sir?
Sir, I'm a techie guy, sir. I'm working with Naresh Shetty on a contract basis. I don't know the complete details on that. Please reach out to admin.
Okay, sir.
Please
sorry,
reach
sir.
out.
Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Please raise a hand if you have technical question. If you are non-technical questions like fee structure, recording videos, non-recording videos, any kind of admin related queries, we are going to give you admin data today by end of the day, and you can reach out to them. Okay, right. Ram.
Yeah, is there any other features for the Spring Boot or the Spring actually?
Lot of things are there, but I covered important ones. Okay. As part of demo, I covered whatever the time I have. I covered only lot of things are there. Okay. Yes. Arif.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes,
sir. Sir, in control class, why are you using response entity as a return type, sir?
First of all, why we are going to hands-on? Why we are going to hands-on? I didn't explain what is response entity, request entity, right, sir?
Yes, sir. But
I have not explained.
I attended the interview, so they asked. I know little bit of knowledge in Spring Boot. So
I'm
they
going
asked
to
that
discuss
question.
actually. I'm going to discuss in the regular class, sir, because it needs 10 minutes of time to explain that answer. Okay.
10 minutes of time. Okay,
Yes, I don't want to disturb the demo here. Okay, please don't mind. I'm going to cover in my real. It's a good question. It's a real important question. I'm going to cover in my real time because my current agenda is today for microservices. I don't want to deviate that too. Okay, kindly, I'm humbly requesting. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Sir, in the place of response entity, another return type we will be using.
By default, response entity will be the default entity. We don't need to use any other things. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. I'm stopping the questions, guys. Okay. Now because don't mind, I'm going to give an option for you guys. There are other two participants like Rathod and Yakub Pasha. I will give an option at the end of the class because I want to teach something. Next one is that today's agenda is microservices. What is a microservice? Why we need to use microservices? What is the relation to Spring Boot and microservices? Okay. So what exactly our topic here, guys? What is microservice? First of all, why we are hearing this word? Why we are hearing this word for the last 4 to 5 years only, right? I mean, why this much popularity for microservices? What is the relation to Spring Boot and microservices? This is what my today's agenda which I need to cover. Understand, guys? What is a microservice? First of all, why we are hearing this microservice word for the last 4 to 5 years, and what is the relation to Spring Boot and microservices? This is the three things which I want to explain to you guys, not with theory. I don't want to explain with theory. I'll showcase my real-time problem and how the problem is solved with microservices. I'm not explaining any theory, guys, here. No theory. Completely a scenario. Whatever the scenario I faced in real time, I'm explaining you. Then I will explain the problem. Then I will explain you how and why microservices are really helping us. Understand, guys? Right. What is the scenario I have? Is nothing but, guys, when I'm having 4 years of experience, I think 3.8 years experience. When I have, I think almost 8 years back. Okay, right. So I joined into a payment gateway company. I worked for a company which is a payment gateway. What is a payment gateway company? So any shopping cart, whenever we payment, we process, right? By default, it's a completely, we are going to have a payment gateway. It's a separate provider will be there where they will validate our payments and they will credit that account and everything. Okay. For example, if I'm using Amazon or Flipkart or Big Basket or Grofers or any of the apps I'm using, any of the payment pages, by default, only one gateway will be there, payment gateway. Okay. And we need to subscribe to payment gateway. Then whatever the page will display, that will be redirected. No one will develop payment gateway. Only one gateway will be there. Okay. Right. I joined to a particular company like payment gateway. And what is the option I got in the first day itself is I need to create a JSP page. Okay. I need to create a JSP page where card number, expiry date, CVV number, name on the card, amount, and the type of the card. So in type of the card, we have couple of options, guys. What are the couple of options means? Generally, we are having MasterCard, Visa card, Maestro card. MasterCard, Maestro card, Visa card. Okay, these are the three cards we are going to process. And some of the validations are there where card number should be 16-digit length, expiry date should not be the past date, and CVV should be 3 digits, and amount definitely greater than or equal to 1000 rupees. And if it is a MasterCard, there is a one rest call. If it's a Maestro card, there is a one rest call. If it's a Visa card, there is a one rest call. Okay, that's how. Okay, yes, yes, correct. I think, but there is a some they was someone pinged actually PayPal and Phone Pay, Google Pay. Yes, exactly the same, something like the same. Okay, right. So it's a simple JSP page we created, and based on we wrote some validations. Based on the card number, I need to identify, is it a MasterCard, is it a Visa card, or it's a Maestro card. I need to identify any which of the card belongs to that. If it's a MasterCard, one service call. If it's a Visa card, one service call. If it's a Maestro card, one service call. I'll call the REST service with the parameters of card number, expiry date, CVV, amount. Then if that service is giving me success, I need to credit that money to the whoever accessed my application. If it's a Flipkart, I'll add to the money to Flipkart account. If it's Amazon, I'll add the money to Amazon account. And if failure is happened, then we're going to throw the failure. This is the payment gateway typical structure. Okay, and somehow, because this particular product is very at that particular time, only one payment gateway was there. Nowadays, now Google Pay, Phone Pay, like Wallet Pay, MobiLink, and lot of payments are there. That time 8 years back, not like these many, only credit card payments. That's it. Okay, very few payments at that particular time. Just 8 years back, that's what I'm talking. Okay, right. Now this particular application was very famous, and this is true fact. All the customers of ICICI, HDFC, SBI, PNB, HSBC, all of these bank customers, for example, if I take ICICI card, if I take HDFC card, if I take SBI card, if I take PNB card, if I take HSBC card, so all these customers, all these banks are using our application. They give their credit cards, and they are the customers of these banks of using our application. At that particular time, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, SBI Bank, and PHSBC Bank, they have created our application. I mean, these are the customers of our application. Okay, I hope everyone is clear on the scenario. Let me repeat here. The scenario is, let me repeat once again. We are creating a payment gateway application with the details of card number and all those details, and with the validations of these. And based on the card type, I have one REST call, and we are going to call the REST call on submit. If validations are successful, then based on that, if call is success, then the money I should add back to the Flipkart or Amazon who is calling me. Then definitely, if it's an error, means error, I need to return to the page. This is the typical scenario of payment gateway application. Okay, right. Now, what kind of architecture I have used here? What kind of architecture I have used is mainly, I used an architecture called as, let me write that, guys. Let me write that architecture here. The payment gateway application, whatever the architecture we have used, I'm going to write here. Okay. So first I have created a JSP, like payment.jsp, with all text boxes like credit card number and all other details in the JSP page. In the JSP page, we wrote all other details. Clear? This is a payment JSP. Right, sir? Then I created one more thing, which is nothing but payment controller. Am I right, guys? Who are working on Spring MVC, they know this. Payment controller dot Java. Right? Where what I'm doing here, typically I'm going to do here validations. Correct, right? In controller, I'll do validations, right? And identifying type of the card, identifying the type of the card, and calling service layer. Am I right? This is my payment controller. Then what is my next layer, which is equal to payment service. This is my next layer, payment service dot Java, where I'm sorry guys, payment service dot Java. What is the code I'm going to write here inside that? If it's a Visa, I need to hit Visa URL. If it's a Maestro, I need to hit Maestro URL. If it is a MasterCard, I need to hit Master URL. And I need to get the status. Based on that, I need to have one more layer. What is that layer, guys? Can someone think of, I think, right? Where can someone think of what exactly the layer is? DAO layer, right? Where we need to write a typical DAO layer. Okay. So which is equal to payment DAO dot Java, where we will write all our database code here. Finally, we are going to write all database code here. Okay. Here I'm going to write all database code in this particular this is the architecture. Understand, right, guys? Now what I'm going to do here, ultimately, what is my target here? I'm packaging everything, all these files. I'll package everything and I'll package everything and I'll prepare finally one var file, which is called as one var file, which I'm going to call as payment gateway dot var file. Payment gateway dot var. I'm going to create all these things. Okay. And I will deploy this payment gateway var file onto my Tomcat. Then I'm going to choose my URL. What is my URL in that case? If that is the case, what is my URL here? Something like http www.company.com/payment-gateway/home.jsp. If I click this URL, this JSP will be loaded. This is how the typical architecture I have used. Okay. I hope everyone is clear here. There's a question. Maybe I'll take it. If it is related to the current topic, Dhyaneshwar Rathod. Yes. You can unmute, sir. You raised a hand. Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Yes. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Can I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Sir, Spring and Spring Boot are individual or not, or same?
Spring is child and Spring Boot is parent. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
that's
Okay.
what I always ask. If your doubt is related to the current topic, then only please raise a hand, guys. It's my humble
Okay, sir.
request. Okay, Sanat.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you're audible,
Sir,
sir.
all these together is called payment gateway, sir.
Correct. If
Or,
any error comes, in service, that payment JSP will give an error, and that error will be returned to my Flipkart or Amazon. Yes.
okay, so taking a payment, taking the request via controller and servicing, I mean, with service file we are doing it, and then this whole process is called payment gateway. That's all.
Correct. That's what that is what the scenario. Okay.
And one small thing, sir. I don't know whether this is related here. What is we can create jar and bar, right, sir? We can create jar and
I'm
bar.
going to explain.
Okay, sir. Sir, please.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Devsanna Patel. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Sir, can I know, please, what is that payment DAO? I don't understand. What is DAO?
DAO layer is nothing but it is a data access object. Okay. If you have to do any kind of database operations, you will write JDBC code, right? Driver manager dot get connection of database details will write, and connection dot open, connection dot prepare, connection dot execute update, prepared statement, results, it all the code you'll write, right? That is a data access object. DAO layer we'll call that as. Okay, it's a typical old architecture I'm referring, nothing to do with Spring Boot here. Fine. Now here, guys, this is the architecture I have used, guys. This is the architecture we have used here. So guys, I'll take the next questions. If I start, then everyone is please don't mind. All the questions I'm going to take at the end. All the questions I'm going to take at the end, guys. Okay, right. Now, what problem I got with this architecture is currently I am using an application. 1 second, guys, 1 second. Currently, I am using an application. All ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, SBI Bank, PNB Bank, as well as HSBC Bank. All these banks they are using my application. All they are using my application. Okay, right. Then what exactly the problem came is, slowly there is a one more bank also came. There is a one more bank also came. That bank is nothing but American Express, Amex. Anyone have an idea about that? Amex card. Amex also came into picture. Their customers also, they want to use our application. Okay, Amex is the customer, Amex is the bank, American Express is the bank where they are going to use this particular service. Okay, if any of Amex customers having MasterCard or Visa card or Maestro card, they can do that. Okay, and immediately our application is deployed on Amex Amex on the bank environment, and we take and completely setup is completed. Then immediately we got a big error that whenever Amex card is entered, when they click on submit, they are getting invalid card number. For other banks, it is working fine. Our application is working fine. For only American Express, I have a problem. When I enter my Amex card, when I click on submit button, then it is giving me an error. Okay, whenever I'm giving Amex card, it is giving me an error. Please enter a valid card number. Then immediately at that particular time, I was pulled into a call. I joined the call and definitely I have a very tough time. Completely my hands are shaking. I'm not able to speak confidently because I'm a UI guy and it's a UI error. What scrap you wrote, and everyone is shouted on me. Yes, real. This is a real incident happened to me. Okay. So they are giving valid credit card number. The valid card number they are giving. When I click on submit, error is coming. And the error is only coming for Amex, but not for other cards. Then everyone is shouted on me. Okay. Then somehow my manager and my upcoming lead, they are very matured guys. So they completely bypassed me and they took the call and they only analyzed because they have a more experience at that time. They analyzed internally and they compared. They asked the marketing people, what is the difference between these card numbers? Then marketing team told that Amex is having 13-digit length. Amex card is having 13-digit only, not 16-digit. All other banks are having 16-digit. Amex is having 13-digit only. And that information is not conveyed to IT. That is not conveyed to IT. It's a problem between IT and marketing. That's a clear problem. Always happens in real time, right? Then, since I wrote a code in my application validations code, right? In this validations, I wrote a code. If card number is equal to greater than, less than or equal to 16, I am throwing an error. Okay. Now I want to fix. Fix is how much time it takes. How much time I need to fix this code? Very small time only I will take, right? To fix the code, it's not big time. Mostly 10 to 15 minutes I require. Just I add if condition. If the card type is Amex, then 13 digit. If other than Amex, 16 digit. Small if condition I can write here. But I need to create one more var file. What is a var? Someone just now asked a question, right? Var is nothing but web archive. Var is nothing but web archive. So all my JSP, controller, service, DAO, database, all these things will be packaged into a zip file. Something like zip, not a zip, something like zip, all in one particular folder. That is called as var. That is called as web archive. I'll give this web archive to Tomcat or JBoss or application server. Then when server is started, all these files will be extracted. That is how typical web application works. Okay, where jar is nothing but standalone application, not a web application. Java archive, var is nothing but web archive. Web archive is for web application. Jar is nothing but Java archive for standalone application. Okay, guys? Yes. Now I have payment controller.java file is the file which I am changing. I am writing an if condition. I am changing this code payment controller.java file. I am changing where I am keeping an if condition. If card type is equal to MX 13 digit, other than MX 16 digit, other than MX 16 digit. Okay, guys. Now what I can think of, I'll prepare a new var file. Oddly, it will take 20 minutes, not more than that. Correct, right? Yes. But immediately I got a very big problem. Now to keep the new var file onto the production, because I need to stop my system. I need to stop my system. And I need to delete that var file, old var file. I need to delete that. And I need to keep my new var file. Then I need to start my server again. Am I right? if there is any change in my application, I need to create a new WAR file. I need to stop the entire application. I need to delete the old files, and I need to keep the new WAR file. I need to start that. That is a typical process we have. That's a typical process we have. Okay, guys, what is the process here? Create new WAR file with a new change. Stop the service, Tomcat or whatever the service. Delete old WAR and files. Deploy new WAR file. And finally, start the service again. This is the typical flow where we need to deploy that. This is a typical flow where we need to deploy that. But what is the problem here? The problem is I need to update my banks. Sir, I need to take a permission from these guys, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, SBI Banks, PNB Bank. Sir, my application is under maintenance mode. This time to this time, my application will be stopped. Maybe at least half an hour I need to tell. 30 minutes is the time where I need to stop my application. I need to keep that. Then all banks are telling, what are the timings when you are stopping? Let me know. ICICI Bank tells that, sir, I have completely customers are in UK region. Do it 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. in the morning. Then immediately HSBC tells, sir, 3 a.m. is US 10 a.m. and my all customers are in peak time, that is change to 1 a.m. and our SBI, it's a 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. to Indian time. It will not suitable for all banks are running all over the globe. One bank is running in one country, another bank is running another country, another bank is running another country. All the banks are supporting 24/7 mode across the globe. So they are not giving me an option. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. It's a business loss for them. Then how do I fix it? Because it's critical for them. If I stop that, they will tell that please try on a weekend where there is no rush is there. That time I cannot stop that. I cannot wait till that time. Then finally, this architecture is not going to solve the current problem what I have, where creating all these files in one WAR file and with the steps creating a new WAR file with the changes, stopping the service, deleting the old WAR file, deploying a new WAR file, starting the service. These are not really helping at all. The current process itself is not helping me at all. This architecture is called as monolith architecture. This architecture is called as what? Monolith. Monolith architecture. This was there from the last 20 years. Keeping all the files in one folder. Any change to one of the file needs to delete the entire folder to create a new folder structure and to stop the server and start the server again. The complete 5 steps process will be common for monolith application. In the last 4 or 5 years, with the Mr. Jio, Mr. Ambani, where he gave internet free for everyone, and that gave a new revolution to IT. A normal rural person who is sitting a rural place where there is no road facility is also not available, but our internet will be available. That's what he proved, that a normal rural person was able to create an Amazon order where he doesn't know perfect English also. To that extent, the internet was spread, and lot of changes came in IT side also because of more adoption. Now monolithic architecture was not able to solve this particular problem. What solution we need to propose? First of all, what is the problem? Sir, I have a problem where one of the customer like MX card. I want to fix the problem. I need to keep a condition. If card type is MX, 13 digit. If card type is not MX, 16 digit. Small if condition I need to write. Where I need to write it payment controller.java file. The entire package need to be stopped, created, and run. So this entire steps has to be run again and again. This is a cumbersome process. What we have done is, what is microservice architecture is telling me that you should not take like this architecture. What you need to divide your things are, don't divide your application into MVC architecture, model, view, controller. Don't divide like this. Model is nothing but DAO, control is nothing but control plus service, view is nothing but JSP. Don't divide like that. You divide based on your services. Don't divide the application based on architecture. Divide your application based on services. What is the meaning of services? For me, ICICI Bank is one service. HDFC Bank is one service. SBI Bank is one service. PNB is one service. HSBC is one service. MX is another service. Like, what is the proposed architecture? MX.JSP, HDFC.JSP, MX controller, MX service, MX DAO, something like, I'm not clearly telling here, something like you need to create based on the services. You need to divide application, where if MX is having a problem, only MX service should be stopped. The other customers can run the application, can use the application, no problem at all. You need to divide your application. You need to divide your application based on services, where each service is independent. If you stop one service, other services should not be impacted. Something like banking, account service, fixed accounts, savings account, current account, home loan, vehicle loan, mortgage loan, car loan, credit cards, debit cards, like these many services I have. Am I right? We need to divide the application based on the services. If a small problem in home loan should not stop the personal loan, a small problem in credit card should not stop the home loan. Everything is independent. Something like it for a fun, monolithic architecture is a corporate hospital. Monolithic architecture is corporate hospital. We saw one movie, right? In corporate hospital fraud. One patient will go, something like he is telling that small pain in the leg. Okay, he went to hospital, corporate hospital. The problem is at the leg. They will completely do a body scan from brain to leg, MRI, ECG, X-ray, whatever the scans are there, all the scans they will do that. Finally, they will tell, sir, everything is good, sir. Just apply some ointment to your leg, it will fix. Ointment cost is 50 rupees, and all the tests are almost 10,000 to 20,000. The problem is at your leg. Why you need a scan on the brain? Why you need a scan on the heart? Why you need a scan on the stomach? Why you need a scan on the eyes? My problem is on MX. Why I need to stop SBI Bank? Why I need to stop HDFC Bank? What is the problem here? You have a problem with MX. You should be able to stop that particular functionality only. That particular application only you need to stop that. Remaining things you should not at all stop that. Then, okay, I can provide lot of solution on the fly. Okay, MX. Okay, then I have MX controller.java. I will add the condition MX controller.java. I will stop only MX service. I no need to talk to anyone. Immediately, if I use microservices architecture, this problem is solved. Okay, so dividing our application based on architecture like UI layer, that is view layer, controller layer, and database layer like MVC, model, view, controller. Dividing our application into MVC layer. Then if you need a change in model, if you need a change in view, if you need a change in controller, the entire system has to be rebuilt and entire system has to be stopped and entire system has to be deleted. New file should come and newly we need to start the service, which is stopping the entire my business. For example, tomorrow Amazon introducing a new scheme. The customers for the first 10 minutes, 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. whoever is booked, whoever is placed orders 10 to 10 a.m. they will get flat 50% discount. Flat 50% discount they want to apply within the 10 minutes. For example, if the discount logic is wrong, I need to provide the fix immediately. I cannot ask them to stop the entire Amazon application. Forget about man, 10 minutes is over. Let them continue with the regular orders. Forget about discount orders. To fix that, I need to stop the entire system. If you can you imagine if Amazon is stopped for half an hour, how much loss to Amazon? If Google is stopped for 10 minutes, how much loss to Google? If Flipkart is stopped for half an hour, how much loss to Flipkart? Can they run using monolithic architecture? No. Previously, they don't have that much demand and it worked. Nowadays, everything is completely on demand and we cannot stop our application. So microservices architecture are helping us in dividing our business into services, business services, not on the architectures, not on the UI layer, not on the model layer, not on the controller layer, not on the service layer. We are not dividing like that architecture. We are dividing based on services, savings service, current service, fixed deposit service, home loan service, personal loan service. And within that service, we have JSPs. Within that controller, we have service, we have DAO, we have table. Again, we will discuss that at a later point. That is a proposed architecture. Now, if I stop one service, the rest of the things should work. If I have a problem in home loan, my personal loan will run. There is no business loss to me. It is providing high availability 24/7. I can promise my business is running. If one problem is there, it cannot stop the entire application to be stopped. That is called as microservices architecture. Normally, if you can explain the things, you will not understand. That is the intention of explaining through this particular scenario, which will fit into your brain. Now, we'll talk on the theory now. What is a microservice? What are the points we wrote here? What is a microservice? Microservice is nothing but it is an architectural pattern. It is architecture pattern. Rather than dividing our application into MVC, model, view, controller like architecture, instead of that, if we divide our application based on business services, how many services are our business is having? if I divide my application into that many number of services, and if any service is having a problem, that problem should not be cascaded. And if I stop one service, that problem should not be stopped with other services. So the service which I stopped, only the problem with that service only, the rest of the services should continue. This kind of new architecture is called as microservices. Why we are hearing this particular word for 4 to 5 years? Yes, for the last 4 to 5 years, the customers using e-commerce or IT frameworks very highly. I mean, lot of people are using IT products. Before 5 years, did you imagine? Nowadays, if at all, if I want TV or washing machine or fridge, 4 years back, I need to go to store. I will check the TV, I will check everything. Nowadays, are we having that much time? I'll order to Flipkart, that Flipkart only will deliver the TV to my home. I want clothes. I need to go to shop previously. Now am I going? The complete business is changed to online. Even teaching also changed to online. Now the IT adoption is increased for the last 4 to 5 years. And if any upcoming changes are there, which should not stop the business impediments. That is the reason of why this new architecture came into picture for the last 4 to 5 years. Yes, Sachin, a service is nothing but a type of functionality. Like savings account is one functionality. Current account is another functionality. Correct, right? Fixed deposit is another functionality. Home loan is another functionality. Personal loan is another functionality. Dividing your application, just I gave an example. For example, in e-commerce framework, if I take customer service, cart service, product service, inventory service, payment service, discount service, shipping service, review service, like that. Okay, like that we can divide our application into n number of services. Okay, so this is the relation. I mean, this is how microservices will be there. Then what is the relation to Spring Boot and microservices? Spring Boot is automated completely on the microservices architecture. If I take Spring Boot as our framework to develop microservice architecture, you no need to write heavy code. Spring Boot is given a automated framework. Most of the code is written by Spring Boot only. Very few lines of code we need to write. That's why Spring Boot is very famous for developing microservices architecture. Microservices is a common for all the programming languages, not only Spring Boot, guys. What is microservice? It's an architecture where I can implement in .NET, where I can implement in PHP, where I can implement in Java, where I can implement in Python. Anywhere I can implement. But in Java architecture, Spring Boot is the framework, or Spring Boot is a technology I can take off, which I can choose to develop microservices architecture, where a developer can deploy or can write the code on the fly. Very less time he can write, he can need. Just now I explained Spring versus Spring Boot, where a lot of concepts are automated, right? That's why where we can use Spring Boot for microservices architecture. Yes, we have MVC concept is there, but Sachin, I can explain that in real classes we have, but small difference to Spring Boot MVC and Spring MVC. Okay, right. So this is what overall my demos, guys. So whatever we are able to follow, like, one second, like course content I already published in the group. Guys, if anyone doesn't, I mean, he didn't get a link to join Hangouts group, I'm pasting again. Please install Hangouts app and click on the link. You will be joined, and already I posted course content and the last 2 videos of my YouTube. Tomorrow morning I'll give today's link. Whatever I explained this class link, I'll give in tomorrow. Totally 3 demos are completed. and we are going to update our admin details in the Hangouts group. I'm going to update admin details in the Hangouts group and the WhatsApp and all those things. And any technical question, you can send out an email to me. Any technical question, you can send out an email to me. This is my email ID. And any admin related queries like payment related, NASCAM, all those, whatever the other things you have, you can reach out to admin. I'll give the number of WhatsApp number of admin. You can get in touch. Okay. So this is so far I have here. Yes. Now it's a turn to your questions. You can raise your hands, guys. I can unmute them. Ram, maybe you raised your hand, but you removed that. By default, Sheshadri, yes, in Spring it's not possible. Spring Boot only it's how SOA is different from microservices. Very, very good question, Amol. Let me explain. SOA is a service oriented architecture. What exactly SOA is nothing but this is service only, sir. This is service only. I will divide into MX service, HDFC service, ICICI service. And if I want to come to the service, I need to come to through this layer only. That is service oriented architecture. I am dividing my services into different components. That is a SOA architecture. But micros all are running on one port only. All are running on single unit only. But microservices, everything is different. Okay, at high level, I can explain that. Yes. Ram?
Yeah, Vijay. As you said, the main aim of microservices is to reduce the downtime.
Correct. One of the main advantage. Lot of other advantages, but one of the main advantages is that, yes.
And one more thing, if I have only one business service, can I continue with monolithic or as an nowadays?
Do we have any kind of real-time application? Only one service is there. We don't have, right? Yes. If we have, you can continue with monolith. Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, is there any similarity between REST service and microservice or?
No, REST is the protocol which we can use for developing microservices. One of the protocol we can use. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Ramakant Sahu.
Yeah, hi Vijay.
Hello.
Yeah, actually my query is in this course structure, are we also covering the basics of Spring?
Yes, sir. Spring Core I'm going to cover, which is really useful for Spring Boot. In the demo one, we already given in the YouTube link. You go through that. I explained everything there. Okay. Please go through that. Thank you. Sanat Rayala.
Sir, I'm audible.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one doubt, sir. Sir, within 10 years, we are going to have this Web 3.0, like we are hearing about it, right? So my point is, when we get this Web 3.0, whatever the structure, I mean, this microservices we are using, it is going to, I mean, is there any effect on this? I mean,
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what Web 3.0 we are considering, but I'm not having any clarity there. What you are referring, I'm not having an idea, but microservice is going to be there at least for 10 to 15 years. That is the bread and butter of this. Okay.
Okay.
Galaxy Tab. I don't know who is that. Galaxy Tab S6. We are not able to hear your voice, sir. Galaxy Tab X6. We are not able to hear your voice. Praveen Kumar, you go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, Vijay.
Yes.
One of the I have two questions, sir. One is I don't know about the difference between the var and jar. Another question is that, sir, when you're using the business like this, so for example, you have said like SBI and ICICI. So that means you are using the more redundancies. Is it
that is how our talent will come, how we can reduce the redundancy. That is what we are going to discuss in our regular classes.
Okay.
Yes, redundancy will be there. Yes, but we have alternatives to reduce the redundancy. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And jar and wire, I explained here. Jar is for standalone applications. desktop applications. Where is for web applications. Okay. Yes, Sachin, I have already shared the syllabus. Okay. Now let me chance Galaxy Tab S6. Okay. There is a problem at your end, sir. I'm not able to hear. You can type your question because we are not able to hear your voice. Guys, always it's minimum, bare minimum point here. We need to remember when we are connecting online session, we should have weapons like headset should be clear, network should be clear. We should not be surrounded by big crowd. We are not able to hear you. Galaxy Tab X6. Please, if you have any questions, you type on the chat window. Yeah. Any other questions by anyone? So we are going to payment gateway is going to process. For example, you are placing a you are placing an order in Amazon or Flipkart. It is going to give a payment, right, sir? And who will process the payment? A payment gateway only is to process the payment. Okay. Yes. Sachin, please join to that kind of Hangouts group. You will get the content. Already the content is there. If you don't have, please ping in the chat window, the Hangouts group chat window. I'll publish that. Okay, right. In training, we are going to use Eclipse, Windows operating system Eclipse. Okay, but the same will be work for IntelliJ and others also. Yes, today is the last demo. Yes, we are covering Spring Batch also. I gave in the course content, guys. You can go through that. Okay, fine. Any other things? Arun, for everyone, microservices is useful. Anywhere, not only payment, anywhere microservices are useful. Okay, fine, guys. If everyone is good, maybe we'll get back to you with the admin details. Okay, then we'll start with the tomorrow as a beginning class. Okay, so those who are subscribed for the course, they will get a mail and you will get a link. Okay. Yes. Yes, Nagesh, I don't know what you're typing. You can raise a hand. You can speak also. Fine, guys. If that is the case. Yes, Pragati. I unmuted you.
Sir, I wanted to ask class one.
Your voice is completely breaking down. We are not able to hear at least one word from you.
Sir, tomorrow's class of 5 hours.
Yes, class is at the same time 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily, Monday to Saturday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. the class will be there. Monday to, sorry, 1 hour. I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear your voice, ma'am. Actually, I'm not able to hear your voice clearly. What is your question?
The class.
So this is a problem. If at all, if anyone uses mobile data based on the network signal, we can't hear your voice clearly. I'm not sure, Pragati, what is your question, but it's 1 hour class. Nagesh, please refer to my demo 1. Not required. I gave a prerequisite for this course. Please refer to demo 1. You will get everything. Okay. Fine. Okay. I'm not sure what is Pragati's question, but yeah, I'm not able to hear the voice clearly. Yes, class are from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Saturday. And we are going to provide slides, running notes, and the code which I type in the class. And also if you subscribe for recording sessions also, it will be sent. Okay. Fine, guys. I wish you all the best for everyone's career. And a belated happy new year to everyone. Definitely this new year will bring you a new life to everyone. I hope for that. And At least we'll pray for God not to have one more pandemic this year. That's what we should be. Okay. Yes, class will be 1 hour. Yes, ma'am. Class will be only 1 hour because I'm going to take perfectly 1 hour starting 9 to 10, and I'm not going to use a completely that effective 1 hour. I'm going to utilize something like, instead of wasting the time in the class, I'll contribute 1 hour.